Look, I know the phrase that anything can happen in NASCAR, but even I didn't think any of this would happen from what we just saw here at Talladega today. Yo, what is up, everyone? My name is Jeff from MDK, and welcome to the episode of Inside Lines. Now, today just wrapped up the Geico 500 from the Talladega Superspeedway. Now, obviously, we need to discuss what took place on Sunday night. I'm not going to dive into everything that happened. I'm going to save that for a separate video tomorrow, but I still want to talk about it. This is regarding last night. A noose was found in Bubba Wallace's garage stall in the 43 team. NASCAR was notified of it, and now they are leading an investigation with the FBI. It was disgusting and just flat out a racist act and a cowardly act by this man. He apparently just cannot accept the fact that NASCAR is willing to change for the better. And this man wants to revert back to old and apparently racist ways within the sport. And we knew that NASCAR would do something, specifically with the drivers. We know that NASCAR, whenever special things happen or things like this happen, NASCAR, they always find a way to make the best out of it in terms of to respect a driver, to just fight back against a situation. And I think they did something that I was not expecting, but I think it was one of the greatest things I think I've ever seen in NASCAR. We're going to show it right now. The Bubba Wallace is sitting in his car, and every driver, every crew is pushing the 43 car to the front of the field. And then they stopped it near the end of pit road. Bubba Wallace got out of his car crying, and Richard Petty came over, flew to Talladega. This was also big because he's up there in age, and with COVID-19 going on, it would be unsafe for him to travel, but he wanted to be there for his driver and give him a hug, and that's what he did. On top of that, the anthem and prayer played. Every driver and crew stood behind Bubba Wallace and his car, and it was a very powerful moment. And then after that, you had drivers like Tyler Reddick, Ty Dillon, Jimmy Johnson, Ryan Blaney come up and just offer their support directly to Bubba, and it was a beautiful thing. It was just flat out a beautiful thing. I mean, I don't know what else I can say, but it was incredible. And I think it really solidified that NASCAR is serious about change. There are some people saying, oh, NASCAR is doing this for good PR. No, they are serious for change. And I'm very happy about that. So now let's get into the race. Now, the race had very interesting storyline heading into it, with all the rubber being washed off, and also the fact that NASCAR came in with a modified package. As a result of the Ryan Newman crash back at Daytona in February, NASCAR adjusted the package slightly, just slightly. But one of the big reasons, things that they did, was reduce the horsepower. So many fans were worried or concerned, would this affect the racing? And not only did I think it did not affect the racing, I think it made the racing like 5 times better. I'm not going to dive into the specifics of it. I'll let you know this. Tyler Reddick won stage 1, and then rain came. Did not think the race was going to get in, but after about an hour of rain, we somehow got back to racing, and I was able to go the full distance. When we got back to racing, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. won stage 2. That's all really. I'm not going to dive into the specifics. I'm going to go over the race as general as possible, but I will say this. If you missed this race at Talladega and NASCAR, they're going to upload the race on their YouTube channel, I highly recommend you watch every single lap of that race from start to finish, because that was one of, if not the best Talladega race I think I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, it was on the edge of your seat excitement, but it wasn't out of control. It was controlled chaos from start to finish. One thing I hated with previous Talladega races, and that I think has plagued on how good a Talladega or Daytona race would be, was that it'd be great in the start, or maybe, then a bit lackluster in the middle, and then it's just flat out a wreckfest near the end. It's not consistent. This race was imagine like a heart rate monitor going up and down, up and down, up and down, but not out of control. It was like that. I mean, my heart was pounding the entire time. I have food here. Right here, I have food here. I couldn't eat it the entire race because I was just so anxious about drivers getting caught up in a big wreck. And somehow, there wasn't really a big one. I mean, there were a big crash. There was a big crash on the final lap, but there wasn't really a big one that took out like 10, 12, 15 cars. So really, the theme throughout the first part of the race was Team Penske versus the field. So if you were going to get to the front, you were going to have to go through Team Penske. With Brad Keselowski, Joe Logano, and Ryan Blaney, somehow, doesn't matter how bad you shovel them up, they would always find a way to get back. If you were gonna find a way, it doesn't matter how bad you shuffled them, they would always find a way to get back together. And that was the theme, is okay, how can we break them apart and keep them apart? And you had your usual suspects like Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who, by the way, say what you want about Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Look, I don't like him because he can be very aggressive, but the man's very entertaining. And let's say if a race gets single file, you know he's going to be the first one to jump out of line and try and make a move. And I do applaud that. Also, Chase Elliott, who was one of the fastest Chevrolets, I felt like, also very strong in this race. But unfortunately, he got caught up in a crash with, I think, 50 or so laps ago when he was blocked by none other than Joey Logano on the back straightaway. And Elliott crashes, got a bit of contact from Austin Dillon, and somehow no more was involved. All right, so now let's get into the good stuff. So while this was going on, it was all action-packed. Go full throttle 100% the entire race through. We started getting to this long green flag run at the end of stage 3 to the point where now it looked like it'd be a fuel strategy race. You had drivers like Bubba Wallace, Ryan Preece, who were 3 to 4 laps short on fuel. Tyler Reddick, I think 2 to 3 laps short on fuel. And now the question became, all right, who's going to save enough fuel to race to the end? Joe Logano was another driver who needed to save fuel. It was very interesting to see how the tone of the race changed to where it became from go all out 100% to now hold back a bit, hold back, save me fuel to get to the end. Well, all of that issue was, I guess, put away. With 3 laps to go came out, Jimmy Johnson and Kevin Harvick make contact. Johnson spins, does not hit anything, but he does bring out the caution, which sends NASCAR into overtime. On the final lap, it was beautiful. Crash happened on the back straightaway involving Martin Truex Jr., Corey LaJoie, and Matt DiBenedetto. And then you had Ryan Blaney out in front with Eric Jones being pushed by John Hunter Nemechek. Jones does a little bit of a zigzag, gets to the outside of Ryan Blaney as well as John Hunter Nemechek. And then Blaney sort of nudges and pushes Jones into Hunter Nemechek, and that causes a big crash to the start-finish line. And Blaney would edge out Ricky Stenhouse Jr. by 7/1000ths of a second. Ironically, that is the same margin of victory that Ryan Blaney won against Ryan Newman in the fall of Talladega. It was just beautiful. And then a really awesome moment right after, Bubba Wallace, who put his fist up in the air and went to a specific section at Talladega when there was a whole row of black people, black fans attending to the race, and Bubba Wallace just interacting with them. And it was a cool moment. It was a really, really awesome moment. And I think it capped off I think, to my opinion, this was the craziest, but in a way, most impactful week that I think NASCAR will ever have in its history. I mean, from the lowest of lows from Sunday night with the incident with the noose to Monday morning or to Monday afternoon with the pre-race that the NASCAR and the drivers did for Bubba Wallace, to then the race and how great that was, to then the finish and how amazing that was. I mean, it was something. It was something, and I think that is going to be a race that I feel like NASCAR, a lot of NASCAR fans, people as a whole, are going to look back and say, all right, that was like that. They're going to remember that race. They remember that moment. So, it was amazing to watch. I'll just say that. Honestly, I highly recommend it. Watch this race from start to finish. I rarely say that, but when NASCAR uploads that Talladega race, I think on Tuesday or whatever, or Wednesday, whatever it is, watch the race from start to finish. You will not be disappointed. All right, now let's talk about the unofficial results. Ryan Blaney wins for the second time in a row at Talladega. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., and great run for him. Really good run. Second place, 7/1000ths off from scoring his second Talladega victory and the third of his career. Eric Almirola, who, by the way, take a look at this. Eric Almirola finished third backwards. Only in Talladega can you finish backwards and still get a third place run. Denny Hamlin finishing in the 4th spot. Eric Jones in 5th. Tough break for him though. I mean, I thought for a second Eric Jones had this race won. I thought he had so much momentum entering the trioval with help from John Hunter Nemechek, but Blaney, he did crowd him up there, but I don't think Blaney knew that John Hunter Nemechek was there. So, but it was Was it a racing deal? I don't know, but it was a thrilling finish, I'll say that, but Jones still gets a top 5 out of that. NASCAR over Chris Buescher in the 17 car, 6th place for him. Alex Bowman in the 7th spot. John Nemechek rounds out in 8th. Kurt Busch, good run for him in 9th place, and Kevin Harvick in 10th. And the thing is about Kevin Harvick, he was first, I think, with 2 laps to go, or coming to the white flag. He was in first place. Entering turn 3, he was in first place. And then he finished in 10th. Again, only in Talladega can that happen, where you be first on the white flag and finish 10th at the finish. Nice comeback though for Jimmy Johnson. The 48 car rounds up back to the 13th spot after he spun from Kevin Harvick with 3 laps to go. He had a good car. I thought he looked like he had a shot at getting this thing. With coming to 5 or 4 laps to go when that incident happened, Johnson got a huge run. Got up to 2nd place and was challenging for the lead, was seeking for the lead until he got spun out by Kevin Harvick. Bubba Wallace in 14. Bubba actually said in an interview with Jamie Little after the race that he ran out of gas. So he finished 14th. I think that's still a good run. I thought Bubba was going to get caught up in a crash. To be honest, I thought there was going to be 4 or 5 crashes. Somehow there was not. But still, nice one for Bubba in the 14 car, or in the 43 car to get home with a clean 14th place finish. Yeah, Chase Elliott finishing a 38th spot. Disappointing day for him. Obviously, that incident with Joe Logano. I don't know if this rivalry is over. I highly doubt that. Of course, it had to be Joe Logano. It has to be. For some reason, NASCAR, if there's a driver that you have an issue with, more than likely the next problem you have is going to be with that exact same driver. That's just how racing works. Also, Dylan, the other driver that was caught up in that Chase Elliott incident, rounds out in 39th. Matt Kenseth in the 40th spot, dead last for him after he had a brake failure that forced him. I believe he retired not too long after that incident happened. So overall, I mean, what else can I say? The best Talladega race I've ever seen. And I'm taking that to the bank. I will say, there are a lot of things I don't like about NASCAR and the new 2020 package. But I will say this. When the next gen comes out, NASCAR, do not touch that. You can touch the mile and a half package. That's it, though. Do not touch the short track package, and do not touch the super speedway package. They have nailed 2 of the 3 parts. They nailed the road courses, they've nailed the short tracks, and they nailed the super speedways. Now we got to work on the mile and a half, and then we're Gucci. But wow, that's really all I got to say. Honestly, fantastic race. Congratulations to Ryan Blaney on the victory. 7/1000ths of a second. Wow. Now I got to pass the question off to you guys. What are your thoughts on this race? Did you like it? Did you not? If you didn't like it, I question you. And what are your thoughts also on the pre-race that NASCAR did? I just want to hear your thoughts on basically the entire weekend as a whole, from Sunday night to Monday, I guess Monday night as well. It was, like I said, I think a lot of people are going to look back on this race as a point, like an impact, a significant point in NASCAR's history for the future. But that's it for me. I'm done babbling. I'm going to go ahead and take a nap to digest what just happened. And yeah. Oh, man. That was good. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, my name is Jeff from MDK. And I'll see you guys next time.